Hello everyone and welcome back to this humble abode of gameplay and memes. Today I return to you with another Supreme Commander Forged Alliance Forever replay cast. So this time around is going to be a 6 vs 6 match on a very scenic map called Black Hawk Down. Yes, what an epic name indeed. You've got a whole bunch of reclaim everywhere, piled in the form of this gigantic pile of rocks. All of these rocks are individual, as you can see right now. Any one of them can be reclaimed on its own. So whoever makes it first to this giant pile is going to be sitting pretty at tons of reclaim. As you can see right here, almost 7,000 here. There are also like individual wrecks. Yep, individual wrecks of strategic bombers with, I'm guessing these are the eponymous Black Hawks, thousands of mass each as well. And the interesting part here is that this map contains some very obvious elements from other maps. For example, you've got two causeways with lots of reclaim on them or near them, similar to Satan's Clutch. Then you've got inaccessible platforms where a single player is allowed to build up and be mostly safe. As you can see right here, this is inaccessible by land, and the same thing is happening in the opposite corner. And in the other corners, we've got ourselves basically Astro Crater. As you can see right here, boom, there you go. That's a crater covered by a wall, only one way in, except by air. So overall, this map has plenty of natural fortifications that the players will be sure to make great use of in various ways. But yes, anyway, with that out of the way, let us go ahead and start introducing our players. First and foremost, starting from Team 1, this is going to be a little bit weird because on this map, Team 1 is actually below for some reason in the south, while Team 2 is in the north. Anyway, on Team 2, in the blue corner, starting from an actual corner, on the curator position, we're going to have ourselves one of the lower rated players actually in this particular match. Is going to be Hendywendy. What an interesting name. At 900 rank points, playing Aeon in Wet Concrete Grey, going first air. Moving along the southern edge of the map, next up on our list is going to be Dorset at 1300 rank points, playing Seraphim and Thalassophobia Blue, going first land. A little bit closer to the middle of the map, right at the foothills, or at the foot of this plateau, is going to be our third player of the day. It's going to be Leaf at also 1300 rank points, playing Aeon in Power Play Purple, going first land. In the corner position, also perhaps should be better known as the air position or the plateau position, we are going to have ourselves FallingOff. What an epic name. I sure hope he doesn't fall off that platform over there. Playing Cybran in Emerald Green, going first air. Moving further towards the north, we've got yet another first air player. This time, it's got a very long name. It's FlyBoyBoom-Baldo. Probably just going to be calling him Baldo. Playing UEF in Color Confusion Cyan at 1100 rank points. And like I said, going first air. And the final member of this team is, again, another one going first air. I'm guessing it's kind of a meta for this map, even though it's relatively small at just 10 by 10. This is AugustIN. Oh, du lieber Augustin, Augustin, Augustin. I'm guessing that's what the reference is here. Playing Seraphim at 1100 rank points and wearing blues blue. Switching over to Team 2 in the yellow corner, starting from the crater once again, this is going to be OnceHandsome. The surprisingly lowest rated player in this match at 700, playing Cybran in Life-Given Yellow, going first land. Further along the northern edge of the map this time, we've got yet another first air abnormality. This time it is Antrox, another fellow Cybran at 1400 rank points, wearing Taiga Green. Towards the middle, we can lay our eyes upon this person known as Pashon, or Pashon. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce this. I'm going to be saying Pashon. At 1000 rank points sharp, playing UEF, in pastel pink going first land. On the air position, or the plateau position, we've got another UEF representative for the day. It's going to be BlackPhoenix, wearing an extremely off-brand Winter Wipeout White, playing UEF at 1400 rank points, going first land, unlike his direct opponent who went first air. Further towards the south as well as east, also known as southeast for more eloquent people, we witness ourselves another player named NaturallyAsprtd. I have no idea what this word is supposed to be. I'm guessing I'm just gonna be calling this guy Naturally. At 1300 rank points, playing Aeon, so the first Aeon member of this team, going first land and wearing Cornate Red. And last but not least for this match, and for this team in particular, is going to be another Aeon. This time it is Vission-Keczek. I'm guessing that's how you're supposed to pronounce this, at least with my limited knowledge of various European languages. Playing Aeon at 1400 rank points, wearing, oh my god, that was really awkward, wearing Shrinking Violet, going first land. Alright, with all the introductions out of the way, let us go ahead and speed up the recording slightly so we can actually see what the players are doing. It looks like they are in no hurry to reclaim those gigantic piles of rocks, even those lying next to them, and I wouldn't blame them. You see, when you've only got 2 mass extractors, you probably should not be starting this reclaim, because your mass storage is going to be filled up real quick, which will then completely mess up your build and not allow you to reclaim trees anymore. So what you should probably do is build those extractors first, then start reclaiming, whilst you are leveling up the extractors to 2. And then, during that process, well, yeah, like I just said, then just reclaim during that process. Also, you best hope this engineer doesn't start reclaiming the actual rocks, because, oh, he's manually controlling all the reclaim. Alright, fair enough. Commanders going out towards the middle. We've got, from Team 2, we've got ourselves Antrox as well as Pashon, so obviously the closest people to the causeways are going for them rocks. However, they might be a little bit too late. As you can see, AugustIN is already on the case, about to start reclaiming all this delicious, nutritious wreckage. But there is, on the upside, there is an engineer for Pashon, which means this engineer is going to be reclaiming the rocks a little bit slower, which means it's going to be easier to adapt to this reclaim, to absorb the mass into your economy. This was a little bit short-lived though, as the engineer is immediately destroyed. On the other side of the world, meanwhile, we've got something similar, except both of the commanders are much slower. This allows FallingOff to actually drop 2 engineers here. The engineers fall off the transport very on brand and start reclaiming the rocks as well. So here AugustIN is actually forced to retreat. However, on the other side, FallingOff is once again on the case, also trying to reclaim. Oh, whoa! What an epic bomb out from AugustIN, just completely denying all of these rocks to Team 2. Wow, that was brutal. I wonder how much mass it has destroyed this way. I can't really see, because yeah, those rocks don't really count for mass destroyed, because those rocks aren't, you know, can't move and aren't on any team or whatever. Anyway, we've got both Leaf and Vision finally reaching the rocks. Meanwhile, already a whole bunch of them have been reclaimed by FallingOff. The engineer also runs away, tries to avoid the fire of the opposing commander. Although at this point, Keczek should realize he's in a little bit of danger as Dorset also approaches. Looking like Keczek is going to be 1v2 here, so he should probably slowly back away, especially considering all the rocks are now gone. This might change though with the arrival of the second commander from Team 2, Naturally, who is going to, well, first and foremost destroy 1 engineer. And no big deal though, and yes, they are, Dorset is, or whoever that was, is pinging on the commander of Keczek, trying to tell the other commander that it's probably best to shoot him. But yeah, like I said, with the arrival of the second commander, it's a bit of a stalemate, and they decide to slowly back away. And I'm sure Naturally is going to do the same exact thing as well. The Keczek is actually telling Naturally to come into water, because they should be relatively safe in there. Antrox does basically the exact same thing. I think he's going to try and capture some of those mass capture some of the mass extractors that have been built up by FallingOff. FallingOff just really going everywhere, already having built a whole bunch of mass extractors on the enemy side, already having dropped engineers to help reclaim the rocks. Meanwhile, though, Pashon is going T2 on the front line, already having finished that, in fact, is now producing a stealth generator as well as a T2 power generator, and will now start work on some missile launchers. Okay, we really gotta pay attention to that one. We don't have no idea where exactly those missiles are gonna end up. So Naturally is naturally assisting his teammate in the upgrade of double gun. I don't think the commanders... Okay, well, Dorset actually has himself T2 and is already building some Autoshula turrets, being assisted by Leaf as well, so if Team 2 don't hurry up, they could be in some serious trouble on that side. Meanwhile, T2 also going up for AugustIN, who has backed off quite far away and lost the support of whoever else was there. Or maybe it was just AugustIN. I think it was just AugustIN. Meanwhile, though, a massive artillery drop in the base of OnceHandsome. Already 3 transports having landed and dropped all sorts of artillery pieces basically everywhere. His Hydro is already ruined. His mass extractors are very sure will very shortly follow suit. Engineers attempting to construct autogun turrets, but of course T1 turrets are no good against artillery as long as the controllers of the artillery are paying attention. Tons of scouts as well. I'm not sure what these scouts are supposed to accomplish, but yes, there is so much artillery and they're coming from all directions. This is a complete and utter disaster. I can see a missile flying out from Pashon, of course, already targeting mass extractors. I think it's gonna hit the... okay. It hit 2 extractors, destroyed both of them. I think those were T2 as well. But this is the worst thing ever. Like, this is a massive blow to Team 2 as a whole. Their player, who's supposed to be in one of the safest positions, like, this is... seriously, this is like... he's completely walled off from the outside world. But still, the air transports get him. And even more artillery is being dropped. His base has been completely annihilated. No high-tech factories for him. No hydros. Most of the mass extractors also destroyed. My lord. Well, that nut cracked very easily. I mean, that base is like a relatively tough nut, but it also cracked extremely easily. I wonder what exactly is going to happen next. But yeah, 3 mass extractors already destroyed thanks to the well-placed Aloha missile launchers from Pashon. It looks like, yeah, one of them just killed 72 mass. I have no idea what that was supposed to be, but the other one has killed already almost 3,000. And we'll probably kill more in a second. Oh, another 3 mass extractors destroyed as well. And there is no Team D still in the area. What are they doing? Okay, well, that was a miss. There was nothing there already. You've already destroyed it, but okay. It's now just the commander left for OnceHandsome, and the artillery won't stop coming. Flyboy just keeps sending more and more artillery pieces towards the poor guy. Oh my goodness me. Alright, so BlackPhoenix comes out in support of OnceHandsome using 1 Janus bomber. I feel like this Janus bomber should be able to deal with most of the artillery, but then again, what's the point? There's nothing here anymore. Everything has been destroyed. And now there are some tanks joining the fray as well, in case the enemy team decides to counter with labs or with their own artillery. So far it doesn't seem to be quite the case though. And even more transports flying out. This one is actually headed for the base of who's this? Oh, of Antrox, excuse me. And this one looks like it will stick the landing as well, so lots and lots of stuff to watch out for on the top side of the map. On the east, on the southern side, not quite the case. It just looks like a stalemate. Except, well, the commander of Keczek is heavily damaged, but well, not heavily, but very relatively damaged. Alright, they dropped off the artillery at like the worst place possible, where there was basically nothing to do. Antrox is building a radar in order to counter. Well, they could destroy this 1 T2 mass extractor. That would be extremely painful. But it's just 1 artillery piece. It's gonna take a while. Ultimately, though, it will probably still work. An engineer out from FallingOff has built a T1 mass extractor in the crater that was supposed to be occupied by OnceHandsome. Just, you know, to add insult to injury, just casually sends an engineer and builds an extractor in your base. That sounds like a copy paste of some kind. Finally, some tanks and artillery arrive out from God damn it, I keep confusing the two. From Antrox in order to finally put a stop to this artillery for good, but OnceHandsome really has his work cut out for him, as he's supposed to now rebuild all of the stuff from just his commander, basically from the ground up again. Wow, what an amazing airdrop, oh my lordy gurdy. Alright, they are still sending missiles. I mean, Pashon is still sending missiles. I'm not sure if they are having any more success. It looks like he has destroyed 2 more mass extractors at least in Flyboy's base. So some success has definitely been had. I'm not sure. He might have destroyed this mass extractor as well. Let's see how many. There's 2 Alohas in total. So one of them is a 4-star veteran, definitely destroyed a whole bunch more. The other one is sitting at almost 3,500, also destroyed. Yeah, okay, now I see is sending the missiles towards the south. Very nicely done, the only problem being that all of these extractors are T1 anyway, so it's not that big of a loss. Meanwhile though, Tech 2 Navy coming out from Naturally. Yes indeed, he's already building destroyers who are now blasting the fire base that has been carefully constructed by Dorset. Yes, it is being blasted by 2 destroyers, or is the shield's already gone? If the shield is destroyed now, it's gonna be a lot of trouble. Okay, they're firing upon the artillery piece because, you know, the artillery piece can actually counter them, but there is actually one artillery piece firing directly at the naval factory, which has now been paused for some reason. I'm guessing he lacks mass. Oh no, never mind, he lacks energy. No energy whatsoever. Yeah, you've got way too many shields here, my friend. It was probably easier to build a TMD on there or something. Yep, the destroyers completely annihilate the entire firebase. Now just 2 Toshilas left, which are of course no match for destroyers. Leaf has completely retreated towards his main base, realizing the futility of the efforts, and it looks like, yes indeed, now Dorset is about to follow suit. Also Dorset has got himself a gun now, so the commander is a little bit more combat capable, but overall it still doesn't really matter. But Janus Bomber chasing down a couple of scouts that have been sent once again by AugustIN to find out what's going on. Well, both AugustIN and FlyBoy, yeah, remember this was FlyBoy who made this epic artillery drop, or epic 10 artillery drops more like. Alrighty, by that point though, I'm expecting T3 Air to already be up. Well, yes, they are now building a strategic bomber, immediately T3 anti-air SAM launcher, probably realizing that 13 minutes into the game is a little bit too late and a bomber could be coming in any second to punish you. Meanwhile, especially considering that already 3 T2 factories are owned by FallingOff, while BlackPhoenix himself is only working with 1, going to have to step up the production in order to have any success whatsoever. Meanwhile, in the other crater, a much more peaceful one, we've also got ourselves a T3 air factory, also 3 T1 air factories, for some reason all of them connected to T2 power plants. I have no idea what this configuration is supposed to be. Maybe somebody can explain to me in the comments. I don't know. But now they are constructing a T3 power generator, which should solve all of their power problems, which they don't even have in the first place, so whatever. But yeah. A massive squadron of our tanks and artillery rolling slowly towards the base of Hendywendy. Now this could prove a serious trouble, although they can very quickly make a bunch of bombers in order to deal with those, but still. If those bombers don't come out fast enough, they could be in some serious trouble. These walls, of course, will stop the advances for some time, but once the walls are gone, which is relatively easy to do with artillery, you need to be ready, otherwise you are in for a world of hurt, very similarly to what happened to OnceHandsome. Anyway, and yes, a second T3 air factory has now been finished for BlackPhoenix, so they are slowly but surely reaching parity in terms of their air game. Dorset is being chased further and further away by those prevailing destroyers of Naturally. There are already 3 of them out of the base. Some engineers also rolling around figuring out what else to do. Should probably upgrade those extractors to T2 now. It doesn't seem like they're in any sort of danger. Androx already very widely hiding his commander under the surface of this one tiny lake. It says, Eco, we are behind. Well, let's actually take a look at that, because we have the benefit of complete omnipotence. And yes, indeed, Team 1 is actually quite far ahead. So yes, you do need to figure something out in that sense. Meanwhile, in terms of reclaim, oh yeah, Team 1 like has reclaimed twice as much mass as Team 2, so they definitely need to step up their game if they are to have any hope of winning. Right, so yes, a cruiser now comes out of both Antrox, yeah, just mentioned already, forgot Antrox as well as Naturally. They are now pushing against the forward positions, the shoreline positions of whoever this is. This is actually FallingOff. Yes, he airdropped some engineers on this cliff. There were some neutral Ravagers, as you can see right now. There's one Ravager on this side and one Ravager on the other. These are neutral, you can reclaim them, you can capture them, do with them whatever you want. They won't fire back at you while you're doing it. But now the Ravager on the side of Team 1 has been destroyed, and all of the other installations will very soon follow suit. The destroyers are getting dangerously close to the bases of Team 1 though, becoming even more of a problem. Although this is a little bit too close, you're now being fired upon by enemy Utashila turrets. This probably should not happen. Destroyers outrange Utashilas like massively, so okay, there you go, it's gone. Good. And with the cruisers, they are also pretty well protected from the torpedo bombers. Of course, you know, Aeon as well as Cybran cruisers aren't exactly that great against enemy torpedo bombers, but it doesn't look like any torpedo bombers will come in anytime soon, so they might still create some serious problems for the enemy, especially when they're supported by all these Auroras. Of course, you know, Auroras immediately AugustIN rolls out with a whole bunch of artillery, but it looks like this artillery isn't enough because there are also lots and lots of Auroras, so they will need some kind of a better solution sometime soon. Still, the missile launchers out from Pashon still firing. Still fighting some more kills. Oh, look at that. Yep, there you go. T2 mass extractors. I have no idea how those are alive this whole time, but yes, these will now also be targeted. Please don't hit a cliff. Okay, there you go. A very nice close-up of the explosion. Superbly done. Another artillery drop, or artillery and tank drop, this time out from Flyboy. He just won't give up. He just won't stop. He wants to put this man, OnceHandsome, in the ground with no chance of ever coming back. But it's still not working, you know. OnceHandsome, he might be struggling, but he's not giving up. No, 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 never. Another missile flies out. I have no idea where that's going. Oh, it looks like it's going towards one of the back alley extractors, and yes, indeed, this will land and again will destroy another extractor. These missile launchers have paid off like 10 times over right now, I'm pretty sure. Look at this. Almost 6,000 mass destroyed, 8,000 on this one. Absolutely crazy numbers. Would not expect anything of the sort when they were just being constructed, but with this kind of a wide open map, or not wide open, but with so many players everywhere, and lots and lots of angles to fire those missiles at, there are going to be lots of problems. Useless T2 torp spam not. Oh, I think they are talking about the fact that, yeah, Hendywendy is currently not contributing too much to the game. Hasn't even destroyed those Auroras and artillery. Definitely could have. That's very easy to do with those bombers of yours. You've got like normal, yeah, attack bombers. There you go, just send those in. A lot of torpedo bombers now have been produced, and I feel like these torpedo bombers might accomplish something. But meanwhile, strategic bombers are already flying out of BlackPhoenix. It's only 3 of them, but they could still do some serious damage depending on where they end up. They are being also escorted by a whole bunch of fighters. I'm pretty sure FallingOff has more fighters, just judging by, you know, by eyesight, so to speak. Those strats are targeting the commander of Flyboy. No, they're not. Where are they going? I think they are targeting something in the base of... Oh, yeah, of course. Yep, 5 mass extractors lost just like that. Unfortunately, the second bomb was not necessary. And now they will no longer do anything because they are off the map. So when they're off the map, they will target something randomly, and you don't know what that'll be. And also, they've just disappeared for some reason. Oh, they're going in a... Ooh, that is pretty spooky. Yeah, so the torpedo bombers, as expected, didn't do much because the white fighters out from BlackPhoenix were in the area, but these fighters are... Oof, another 5 mass extractors just destroyed. Once again, 2 bombs wasted. It's impressive how much distance those bombers made while being off the map. I'm not sure BlackPhoenix intended that, but yeah, they basically went from here to here while being off the map entirely and untargetable. Where are they going now? Are they going back to base? Wow. Incredibly successful strat run, just casually flying all the way back to base after destroying 10 mass extractors. What other map could you possibly see that on? Yeah, as you can see right now, cruisers, Cybran cruisers, as well as Aeon cruisers, not the best thing for dealing with torpedo bombers, and also FallingOff, it has to be noted, FallingOff produces them at a much more rapid pace than, you know, Hendywendy does. Like, Wendy, of course, has been producing them for a while, but, you know, FallingOff with just a snap of his fingers was able to create about 20 of them and eliminate all the cruisers. I'm not sure exactly how Hendywendy sends them, maybe I should... Aha, alright, so they are targeting the naval factories. The problem is all these naval factories are T1, there is no reason to destroy them with torpedo bombers. Much better to target one of the commanders which are underwater, which they might not know about, of course, but it would be a much better target, I'm just saying. Or perhaps the T2 naval HQ, which is now being upgraded to T3, with a whole bunch of resources already invested. Alright, we now have a fight between the fighters of FallingOff as well as BlackPhoenix, and you can clearly see the superiority of FallingOff's Air Force by yourself. Honestly, also a very ironic name for an air player, FallingOff. But yes, the T3 naval factory has now been completed. It will now be repaired by the engineers as well. I think they are repairing the factory instead of assisting the actual construction, which is fair enough. Sometimes this is exactly what you need. Alright, there is a Galactic Colossus out from Vission-Keczek now. So, Keczek, my bad. From Keczek will be slowly but surely reaching the front lines. Keczek, meanwhile, has created a decently sized forward fire base on the front line as well, with 3 miasma cannons. Unfortunately, none of them are attached to power generators. Would like to see that sometime. Would be an excellent help for them. Alright, another squadron of torpedo bombers somehow flies in from, once again, Hendywendy, so never mind what I said before. Hendywendy clearly knows what they're doing with his torpedo bomber spam, and finally the T3 factory does go down for Naturally. So he's gonna have to rebuild that from the ground up, probably reclaim the factory first. Yep, that's exactly what he's doing. Better have all the mass storage in the world for that then. Yeah, it looks like the mass from the factory will fit very neatly into the storage, but well, you either have to rebuild that or just invest into something else, which of course that could be a thing as well. Yeah, they are currently upgrading the T2 mass extractors to T3. Probably would have liked them to control K the extractors and just rebuild them from the ground up that way. It would be it is usually worth the... Yeah, it's usually better to control K your T2 mass extractor and build the T3 one on top of the wreckage, because that way you'll actually save some mass. If you've got enough build power, you can reclaim the wreckage of the T2 mass extractor, and then if you build up the T3 mass extractor fast enough, you will be essentially you will overall lose less mass if you just if you were just upgrading from T2 to T3. The Galactic Colossus already reaching the base of Hendywendy. This is really not good. Yeah, Wendy's commander is just out of there. Just quickly makes a transport and flies away. I mean, look, it gets the job done, so we're good on that one. And yes, I do not see anything that could possibly stop this Galactic Colossus, so I think this entire base will be consigned to ruin. Meanwhile, BlackPhoenix is also dipping into the air game, dropping 2 support commanders in the pond in order to start construction of a naval factory, so he is well on his way to... Yeah, there you go. Massive support commander spam with a whole bunch of T3 engineers assisting the quantum gateway. Probably would have liked to see some drones, which would have sped up the construction quite a bit. But yeah, for now the engineers themselves are also kind of, you know... Hover tanks now coming out of Leaf, trying to turn the naval situation around. Well, they did manage to kick out the naval forces of Team 2 from Team 1's own side of the pond. So at least that's good. Killing the HQ wasn't worth it. Oh, naturally is talking about the HQ that they got destroyed for him. Alright, yeah, so the Galactic Colossus, as expected, has complete and total free reign in the crater of Hendywendy. I mean, it is a good thing the commander was able to fly out, but, like, what is he gonna do now? Oh, I know what he's gonna do. He's gonna build T3 in the base of Dorset, so that makes a lot of sense. Meanwhile, Dorset himself, though, has finished a Ythotha, the glorious chicken of the Seraphim, which will now slowly but surely strut its way towards the middle of the map. We should definitely pay attention and see exactly what that's gonna do. The miasma cannons, meanwhile, are from Keczek, completely and totally raking the forward base that has been built up by Dorset himself, actually. Yes, just one shield left and most other equipment destroyed. He will, of course, try to rebuild again, this time with a whole bunch of T3 engineers. It should be a lot easier. The chicken, though, the chicken should finally tip the scales in favor of Dorset's, unless the Colossus also makes it in time, which it definitely could. I'm hearing some bombs being dropped. It looks like, oh, there are strategic bombers now targeting the Colossus that has actually being built up by Leaf himself. So now the question is, can Keczek's GC catch up to Leaf's GC while that is wrecking Keczek's own base? There is a massive battery of T2 turrets here. The Oblivion cannons of the Aeon, which are especially good at eliminating large targets such as the GC itself, but they are... Okay, the GC just ignores the turrets. Probably should have destroyed them, honestly, because... I mean, they are still shooting you in the back, and you could have gained a bunch of veterancy from them. Still gains the veterancy, now targeting the power generator. The generator does blow up. Two of them blow up, in fact. The GC is a 2-star veteran, but this is about it. AugustIN gets defeated by a monkey lord that has been sent by one of his neighbors, namely Antrox. So yeah, you gotta be really careful on this type of map, because danger could come from anywhere at any point, and the entire base of AugustIN collapses on itself. So it looks like this map is actually not being played with full share, which I originally expected. Blaze tanks versus blaze tanks happening in the pond. Meanwhile, though, yeah, the GC does get shot down and most of the turrets are still intact. The Ythotha engages the... No, I was gonna say the Ythotha engaged the other GC, Keczek's own GC, but it's not quite the case yet. Let's just get an epic cinematic shot of this naval battle. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of these are frigates. Yeah, so the destroyers as well as blaze tanks out from Natural are very well matched by the blaze tanks of Leaf as well. Right, there is a strategic launch going on now. It actually comes out of Pashon's base, so the person that loves his missiles, you know, first these amazing tactical launcher that is built before, and now also a strategic missile as well. This man loves his nukes, I gotta say, and it's actually going to land and destroy a whole bunch of mass production for Leaf. Yep, Leaf's base is completely in ruins now. However, his Galactic Colossus is still on the move. And it looks like, yeah, the Galactic Colossus out from Keczek did get wrecked. Both the Ythotha and the GC out from Leaf are still moving. Leaf's GC is almost full health. What is going on? It doesn't even have veterans, it's still full health. I guess the Ythotha took the brunt of the damage from the opposing Colossus. Now one Janus bomber is not gonna stop this chicken. And it looks like very soon we might have to say goodbye to at least one of those players. Let me split the map real quick. So we can see like this. Remove this and then also see this. Yep, there you go. Keczek's commander explodes in a blaze of glory, and now we can probably join the map again. Can we make it in time? Yep, the GC is raking the entire base. The GC is raking the entire base of Naturally as well. So this was a massive swing in Team 1's favor. First of all, Leaf's base got completely annihilated by the nuke, or almost completely, but now we've got the GC protected by the Air Force of FallingOff. The GC belonging to Leaf getting revenge, so to speak, by destroying Naturally's base, while the chicken out from Dorset went and completely eliminated Keczek from the game. Ooh. Lots of base trades going around, with also some occasional ACU kills. I'm already loving this game. I wonder what happened to the Monkey Lord. I can't quite see it. There's a fresh... it's a Megalith, actually. Yeah, I totally missed the Monkey Lord. You know, Monkey Lord living up to his reputation of being super sneaky. Okay, his wreckage is here. So it did manage to penetrate the base of whoever this was, FlyBoy. Yeah, like it does manage to completely annihilate FlyBoy's base, but FlyBoy himself survives. He actually flew himself out to the corner at the foothills of the base of FallingOff, and has now got himself resource allocation system standing under stealth, so nobody can find him. Yeah, the second Colossus out from Leaf is trying to clean up the base of his allies. The base of his allies have been destroyed, but there's nothing to clean up, so it's just kind of wasting its time. Alright, the T3 naval factory of Naturally has been destroyed again, this time by a GC. The Ethotha has probably made a mistake by walking underwater. It's gonna get sniped by a whole bunch of torpedoes here. It does have some serious health regeneration. It's a 4-star veteran, but it's not clear if it's gonna keep it alive. The Colossus retreats from the base of Pashon, which at this point happens to be a very wise choice because there are a massive line of Ravagers being rapidly built up by a swarm of drones. Have you ever seen so many drones? I mean, I'm sure you have. The second nuke will get shot down over the base of Dorset. For some reason it was really close, but it actually wasn't. Whoa! Okay, that was strategic bombers. Ooh, yep, there you go. Strategic bombers, a whole bunch of from FallingOff, do go in and eliminate Pashon from the game. And now at this point, they are probably coming back for more. I would expect them to also snipe this guy, naturally, since he's just standing there can't really get away. Or they could go in and also try to destroy the base of BlackPhoenix, but they won't have too much success, so this kill will have to do. Yep, there you go. All the bombers are shot down because there is an unfathomable amount of T3 SAM launchers, 34 surrounding the base of BlackPhoenix. That is a lot of SAM launchers, I gotta tell you. They're also sending attack bombers against the forward positions that have now been built up by Dorset. Dorset is trying to take over the former base of Keczek by just sending a whole bunch of engineers, probably airdrop them too. Dorset himself is also working with an air force of his own, so complete air domination for now for Team 1. Yes, Team 1, as you can see right here. 50 air units for BlackPhoenix, about 120 in total for Team 1. And 50 for Team 2. I don't know if I said Team 1 the last time, would not be correct. The Megalith out from Antrox that we've seen before now catches up to the GC that was just kind of wandering around doing nothing. This GC will get finished off with the help of some bombers as well. Actually, never mind, these bombers are on the side of the GC. They're bombing the Megalith, but it's for naught. It is for naught. T3 being very slowly constructed by FlyBoy. I wonder if this guy is going to do anything for the rest of the game, considering he's only got his commander and nothing else. Just like he once did, yeah. What goes around comes around, as they say. The exact thing that he did to OnceHandsome now came back at him as well. Now he's reduced to just his commander. Although his commander is a little bit better equipped than the one of OnceHandsome was, but the end result might be the same. The GC that was walking around and destroyed an entire base has now walked within the range of that same Megalith and now will be destroyed. There is no way it can survive here. Unfortunate, but I guess we can say our farewells to this heroic GC by observing exactly how it's going to be destroyed. It should... Yep, one more shot, there you go. It collapses, goes down on its knees. But as the final act of defiance, it also hits the Megalith with its death explosion. Well done, GC, you will be remembered. Probably also, honestly, Leaf should have probably named this GC something special because of how well it performed. Transports flying around, not entirely sure what those are about. Perhaps OnceHandsome was trying to airdrop some engineers somewhere to reclaim, because there is plenty of reclaim lying around on the map. Would you look at that? Just reclaim everywhere. It's a gigantic graveyard all over the map. You've got entire bases destroyed here, experimentals lying around there. You've got more base wreckages everywhere. Yeah, there's lots and lots of reclaim on this map. We should probably... Yeah, the mass income of both teams is kind of tied now. That spike right there you just saw was probably because they were reclaiming something. But yeah, in terms of reclaim, Team 1 is still ahead by about 37,000 mass, 35 at this point. But I would not want to write Team 2 off just yet, especially considering all of this successful performance, the Megalith killing 2 GCs and, you know, the Monkey Lord wiping out 2 bases. This position where the Monkey Lord went through the last time is now guarded by 2 chickens out from Dorset. So Dorset's still pumping out them chickens like there is no tomorrow, as well as making even more fighters to once again fully secure the air superiority of Team 1. Very well done indeed. Hendywendy slowly rebuilding, not as nearly as quickly as they would have probably liked. Also, they've got 3 headquarters. Why? If this is a T3 headquarters, this is a T2 headquarters, which is now being upgraded to T3. This is also this is the same thing. Why would you do that? I'll chalk it up to a misclick. Alright. The commander, alright, I see now. The commander of OnceHandsome is now being flown out, probably to some safer place, yeah, like underwater. There are so many of these little lakes where you can hide your commander. You'll basically spend forever searching for them, unless you can see them directly with like a ship or something like that. Or another underwater unit. But yes, the commander of OnceHandsome should be much safer this time, but his base isn't safe because, you know, everybody knows where that is. So we should still watch out for that. A bunch of strategic bombers have landed in Hendywendy's base, preparing for an offensive maneuver of some kind. I'm sure at this point they have been spotted, so they should like relocate, or at least attack later. Perhaps they do have stealth, of course. These are Cybran Revenant bombers. They do have stealth, and it's currently turned on. So they could definitely attack by surprise, especially considering Dorset actually owns the former base of Keczek. No matter how hard the enemy team tried to squeeze him out of his newly acquired land, he just would not give up. Look at this. He's now building a T3 land HQ on the front. What? Do you not have a normal T3 land HQ somewhere safer? Apparently not. Okay, well, whatever you want, I guess. Just build a T3 HQ on the front line on someone else's base. Sure, why not? Meanwhile, though, he's almost done with the half of them. T3 artillery installation. Yes, that is true. We are at this point of the game where T3 artillery is already very much an option. In fact, as we speak right now, there is already one completed by FallingOff as well. Of course, you know, FallingOff utilizing the complete and total safety of his position. The only way to get here is by airdrop or by building artillery at the foothills somewhere. Utilizing that safety, FallingOff has managed to construct a disruptor T3 artillery installation and already working on another, already 30% done. Amazing job. The artillery is of course bombarding the rival air player in the form of BlackPhoenix, who is currently not suffering too badly, although, well, some shots are definitely penetrating. This could develop into a serious problem if those generators start blowing up, so yeah. Usually a little tip, well, of course I'm not a pro, but this is a tip I picked up from pros. When you're already being bombarded by artillery, T3 shields are the wrong choice. You should start with T2 shields because they are much faster to construct, as you can see right here. You can construct those much faster, and then once they have been built, then you start upgrading them to T3. Because at least whilst they are being upgraded, your base is already protected. Because see, this is the result. This shield should have been finished a long time ago, but now it's destroyed. And it was never finished, and because it wasn't finished, a whole bunch of factories and generators got blown up. So just one Cybran disruptor being surprisingly effective, even against a heavily shielded base. 2 Ythothas being attacked by 2 megaliths here on the western side. This time around, it looks like both the Ythothas do get killed, but the megalith could very easily get finished off here. It's reduced to below 10,000 health, which is nothing for a megalith. But it doesn't seem like there is anything to stop it. Also, I'm not seeing the bombers that FallingOff once had. If we control A, he's only got 5 and they are flying over their own bases. Not sure what they are doing. Maybe if I control... Yeah, if I control shift, I can see it looks like he has attempted an attack. Yeah, he has attempted an attack against, once again, BlackPhoenix's base, but it doesn't look like it worked out too well. Nothing of importance was destroyed. The artillery is doing a much better job, though. He still has his strategic defense units. Yeah, still 2 missiles against enemy nukes, although I'm not entirely sure if the enemy even has nukes. But anyway, the Havatham has been finished and is actually targeting the base of OnceHandsome. Oh, this poor gentleman. Still struggling. It's 40 minutes in, he's still struggling. Sniping, says Antrox. Sniping what? still there with Artie. Blue target, white calm with Artie, says AugustIN. Well, yeah, AugustIN is still watching this replay from beyond the grave. I don't think the commander is particularly threatened though by all this artillery because it does have a shield. It's a shielded UEF comm after all. If I can find BlackPhoenix here, I think it's the normal, yeah, it's just the normal shield for now. Could upgrade to the shield dome for an even greater amount of health. There is a massive amount of missiles coming in from somewhere up top. Ooh, they hit a generator. The generator actually does explode here. Ow. And the artillery pieces exposed. There are a few more missiles coming up. There is a whole batch of missiles coming up. Okay, looks like it was Antrox who built it. This is why he said sniping. They are now coming up for the second generator, and it blows up and gets the artillery piece as well. Oh my goodness me. Alright, well, one disruptor down. The other one has been reduced to half health. In theory, if you could blow up these generators somehow, you could destroy the second disruptor as well. But I don't think it's a very good angle, because you have to penetrate a bunch of shields as well as a whole bunch of missile defense. But very well done by Antrox here, using the Old Testament of who was that? Pashon, yeah, using the Old Testament of Pashon, shall we say, doing the exact same thing, sniping everything and everybody with those tactical missiles. That was amazing. Glad we didn't miss it. These strategic bombers, once again, there is another pack of strategic bombers that's been assembled by FallingOff, are now headed for somewhere. Looks like they're headed for the middle of the map for some reason, where there is nothing there. I guess that's the point, because since nobody will see them, oh, well, they will definitely be seen now. They fly directly through the cloud of fighters out from BlackPhoenix, and now both BlackPhoenix as well as Antrox, who has built himself an air force, are targeting these bombers directly. This is a complete and utter disaster, just a mass donation, basically. Yep, the bombers do penetrate a couple of shields, but only with their own wreckage, which is not something you want. The second disruptor is still targeting BlackPhoenix's base, but at this point there are so many shields it doesn't look like it's gonna penetrate anything anymore. Might have destroyed, oh well, it has destroyed, at least one of them has destroyed one of the SMD units, but that one was empty. That's not the one you gotta worry about. The important one is right here in the middle of the base, and it's super heavily protected, so there is no way in hell one disruptor could do the job. If the disruptor and the Hovatham together combined, they could do it. The Hovatham is heavily damaged. I think that was also because of the missiles out from Antrox once again. Like I said before, the missiles on this map, tactical missiles, can do amazing work considering how many enemy bases are everywhere. But at this point there are so many missile defense units being built up by a massive squadron of T3 engineers. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there is no way any more missiles will go through it. Like, you can send 50 of them at once, they will still be all stopped. Well, there was a good attempt. It almost worked, but not quite. A large amount of land units now being sent out from OnceHandsome's base. I have no idea what these are supposed to accomplish. These are just missile launchers, and you're sending them against people who have just been completely wrecked by missiles, who know much better now. So, yeah, not sure what that was all about. Yeah, let's see right here. So we've got a big pack of missiles flying through, like, right? It was like 15 of them. Well, you can see for yourself, nothing will go through anymore. It doesn't matter how many defense units shoot the same missile and waste their shots, still there are just so many that it's irrelevant. At this point we've also got some fire bases protecting the forward positions, or the backward positions. Well, they're basically protecting the FallingOff's base at this point. Alright, this is not a very good arrangement of artillery installations. The reason being that if you build generators around them, they get adjacency bonus, which will reduce their firing cooldown anyway. So basically, considering generators, T1 generators cost much less energy than, or much less mass than these artillery installations do, by surrounding an artillery installation with generators, you actually get more bang for your buck. Like, you get more fire rate, more damage per second for less mass than if you were to build for the same amount of mass as if you were to build a second artillery piece. That's why you always see players doing that. That's why they always try to surround their T2 artillery with power generators, as well as their T3 artillery. Once again, T3 power generators cost a lot less than T3 artillery installations, and the same applies. Ooh, what an epic shot. Well, it actually just destroyed a bunch of shield generators and nothing else, but one mass extractor was annihilated, and it was T3, so it does hurt. 3 chickens are now protecting from the advancing wall of doom being sent by both Antrox and OnceHandsome. A bunch of Cybran land units, mostly artillery as you'd expect this late in the game, just continuously streaming in and continuously being annihilated by 3 chickens standing guard. I would have liked those chickens to go a little bit out here in the middle so they could reach anywhere, but I suspect they're actually standing behind a mountain to protect themselves from the missiles. Oh, but the missiles still go through. Ow. Ow. Look at that. The chicken's actually being heavily damaged by the missile. Move them. Yep, there you go. Finally decides to move them. Wow. They basically lost like an entire chicken's worth of health between them by just standing still and getting hit by the tactical missiles. Amazing tactical missile plays all around. I can't believe what I'm seeing here. Alright, so the artillery owners, namely Dorset as well as FallingOff, decided that they cannot no longer penetrate the base of BlackPhoenix, so now they're targeting the base of Antrox instead. It looks like most of the shields are about to overload here. Could be a very nasty situation if a couple of shots were to fly in one by one. There you go, boom! First hit immediately destroys a bunch of T1 generators, doesn't really matter, but still they do some damage. Ouch. This is the factory HQ, by the way. They are targeting the HQ as well as the strategic missile defense unit with 4 counter missiles in it, or anti-missiles or whatever. You have to protect that thing with your life. Oops, well, now it's gone. Both the T3 factory headquarters as well as the missile defense unit go up in flames because of their proximity to the generator. That was exposed. Ow. That was horrendous pain. Another swarm of strategic bombers flies in and finally destroys those pesky tactical missile installations. Oh my goodness me. He really hated those, didn't he? Had to send strats to deal with them. Well, that was something. Somehow it seems like our friend Mr. Flyboy is not just surviving but also thriving, having built a whole bunch of infrastructure here. I suspect he's leeching a lot of power from his teammates, because yeah, there is no way he would be able to sustain so many mass fabricators otherwise. But what this does mean is that he's getting a massive mass discount for building those support commanders, and with each support commander his economy gets better and better. So basically what I'm saying is he's rebuilding his economy. He's also what? That is a weird configuration. He's building a sound launcher, then 4 flak cannons around it. I guess it technically is to protect from every type of aerial threat imaginable, but like, if the SAM launcher is targeted, the flak cannons will go up in flames with it, so I'm not entirely sure how feasible that is. Meanwhile, there's finally, like, I think this is our first fat boy of the game, has been finally constructed by BlackPhoenix, who has now taken control of the bases lying around his main base. Yes, this was formerly the base of, who was this again? This was Naturally, I think, yeah, this was Naturally, so has taken over Naturally's base and now is managing that with UEF tech rather than Aeon, of course. I actually don't think Team 2 has any access to Aeon tech anymore, which is a little bit unfortunate. They could have built a Paragon if they did, but probably with this much artillery, T3 artillery on the enemy side, which can shoot through the whole map because this is a 10x10 map, if they had tried to build a Paragon, they would probably have failed regardless. But yeah, there are 3 megaliths. Oh my god, I missed an epic fight. Alright, I'll probably replay or fire up this replay one more time. And show you exactly how this fight transpired, because it looks like there were 4 megaliths against 3 chickens, or at least 3 megaliths against 3 chickens, and that was an extremely epic fight. Also, all the artillery shells flying through. It is definitely worth showing. But yes, now there is a Monkey Lord who somehow made it to the base of Dorset and has destroyed a bunch of stuff. I think he still has himself his strategic missile defense unit, or maybe he's actually lost that because I can't see it. Oh, never mind, there is the strategic defense unit right there, and Dorset himself has blown up by a bunch of strategic bombers that came out from Antrox, as well as OnceHandsome. And this means there is no more Havatham because it will now go up in flames, as well as his entire base, and all the remaining chickens if those still existed. Let's watch this glorious... Oh, there you go. It's all gone. And somehow, I have no idea how that's possible, but OnceHandsome has managed to construct himself his own disruptor, which was firing upon this same base with the Havatham as well as the commander. But now that this base is gone, I suspect he will probably target the disruptors of FallingOff in order to hopefully penetrate some of them and destroy some of them. One of the disruptors is exposed. It was just freshly constructed at the very back of FallingOff's base. This is basically impossible to get to with anything except your own artillery because of how far in it is. But it's still not protected. It's currently exposed. They are building another power generator. I suspect they will now start to work on some shields because they really should. I am almost willing to bet that OnceHandsome is actually trying to target this specific artillery piece. I cannot see though. Where is the... What are you targeting? Nope, it's targeting the middle of his base. It's targeting a... What is that? It's a support commander. Why are you targeting the support commander? I guess because it's standing in the middle of the base, so you kind of hit... You know, wherever the shot lands, you will always hit the base. So that makes a lot of sense. Another airfight breaks out, and it looks like BlackPhoenix is out of luck again. Even though the superior air force superiority, like the full superiority, is now gone because of the death of Dorset, still, it looks like... Well, actually, never mind. The FallingOff flies over a whole bunch of cruisers, and now, this time, BlackPhoenix actually takes the initiative, and this time, he wins the air superiority game. So now, Team 1 really has to watch out, not just for sneaky strat bombers, but also all kinds of different airplanes. They couldn't build a Soul Ripper, they could have built, I don't know, a bunch of T3 gunships as well to control their own borders. And what is this now? Okay, there's a massive spam of gunships going on for this person, Wendy. Yeah, Wendy, I guess they got a little bit dissuaded about the whole torpedo bomber thing, so now they'll just be spamming T2 gunships like there is no tomorrow. Should probably build something else as well. I'm not sure exactly what... Yeah, Wendy's floating mass like mad. I don't think they are too familiar with this game, which is really weird because they are at 900 rank. And probably considering how experienced the other players are, Wendy should have a whole bunch of experience playing this game, but still somehow... I have no idea. Who cares about rank? You never want to go too high. Not sure if I agree, but whatever. Meanwhile, yeah, what I'm showing you here is that the disruptor for OnceHandsome has naturally been destroyed by the superior artillery firepower of FallingOff. However, talk about artillery, the T1 artillery, this giant stream that we talked about before. Now that the chickens are gone, the artillery, those Medusas have free reign. They can just walk in and destroy everything. Most importantly, the forward base of Leaf. Which at this point, yeah, at this point Leaf is, that was his main base. Actually, at this point Leaf just has no base to speak of. Especially with the support of that megalith. A Soul Ripper comes out from FallingOff. BlackPhoenix desperately tries to destroy the Soul Ripper. He does succeed, but he might lose his entire air force in the process. And give the initiative back to FallingOff, which he probably wouldn't want to do. Alright, so FallingOff is doing exactly what I was thinking BlackPhoenix was gonna do with those gunships raiding the outer defenses of the enemy team, as well as protecting their own outer defenses, which don't exist, but whatever. And yes, at this point, definitely you can see that FallingOff has taken the initiative, and now he is back in the saddle in terms of air superiority once again. Somebody still needs to deal with this megalith though. I mean, it is standing on top of a couple of miasma cannons and refusing to destroy them, which it should have done long ago. Please destroy it. No. Okay, okay, sure, just destroy the quantum gateways instead. Those do cost a whole lot more resources. Another Soul Ripper comes out from FallingOff. Okay, this one will definitely succeed in destroying the megalith because there is nothing to stop it anymore. Yep. As well as another bunch of whalers. Yep. And now the forward bases of BlackPhoenix are being targeted. Yeah, so they can't destroy the main base, so they figure, let's target the forward bases instead. For some reason though, the entire... Oh my god, what happened? He had like a power outage and his entire base just lost its shields and a couple of shots went through. Fortunately for him, they barely did any damage. All they did was destroy a couple of shield generators, but still, that was extremely scary. Wow. That was something. Well, now all shields will pop because yeah, they are just being targeted. Oh no, okay, they are definitely targeting this Duke that BlackPhoenix somehow managed to build up. I guess when he was left alone, they realized they couldn't penetrate his base. He decided to build up a Duke, which was successful. Yeah, see, at this point, he is actually building T2 generators first and then upgrading them to T3, which is working out so far. We'll see how long it takes for things to change, though. It looks like the Soul Ripper is also really good at cleaning up all those tiny artillery pieces. However, it is being targeted by cruisers from the sea. And then there are so many cruisers covered by shield boats as well that I'm not entirely sure the Soul Ripper should in fact fly in and destroy them. It's taking a lot of damage from them, and like, it will take a while to get to them, so should probably stay back. Also worth noting that, you know, the Soul Ripper does have stealth. It has been recently buffed to have stealth, but it's not helping when it's flying directly over the enemies, you know? They can see it directly, so the stealth doesn't actually matter. Alright, so is it still 3 disruptors? Yeah, it's still 3 disruptors for FallingOff. Hendywendy is still being a waste of space and just spamming gunships everywhere. And look, I'm not talking about being a waste of space in real life, okay? That's not what I'm saying. I'm sure this is a wonderful person who's got all sorts of cool things going in their life, so that's all well and good. What I'm saying is this is not how you play the game. Yeah, I'm terribly sorry. Once again, when I criticize you know, players who are doing something, let's say, suboptimal, it's not in order to humiliate them or whatever. It's just to show you like what you shouldn't be doing, and so I learn what I shouldn't be doing as well, because I tend to forget this stuff sometimes. You know, I do a whole bunch of stupid stuff as well. So, I laugh at myself first and foremost when I see stuff like this. For example, you should definitely not be building a T3 mass fabricator right next to your extractors. What you should do first and foremost is surround your mass extractors with mass storage units, because these storage units provide additional output for your extractors. Now, it looks like at this point, yeah, Hendywendy doesn't need the mass at all. They're overflowing like crazy. They aren't doing anything with the mass they're producing, except overflowing into their teammates, but still, it is a lot better if you've built, yeah, first of all, mass storage units, so you can actually accumulate more mass, and then after that, probably build something big, like a donut, or more air factories with more power generators, or maybe even the T3 artillery. I feel like we've probably got the resource output for T3 artillery. Actually, no, never mind. Without the storage units, definitely not. Yeah, you probably need a couple T3 fabricators before you can actually build something like that. The Soul Ripper is about to go down. It tried to harass a megalith away, which it succeeded in chasing the megalith away, but also lost its own existence in the process, as it was completely peppered into oblivion by the cruisers. Meanwhile, though, OnceHandsome goes super hard into the naval game and produces a whole bunch of battleships. Okay, so let's see how far those can actually reach. Okay, they are not reaching the main base of FallingOff, which is the thing you gotta worry about. They can reach the base that Flyboy is attempting to construct if they go a little bit further south, but like, it's not that significant. There's just a bunch of shields and turrets and nothing else pretty much. Flyboy just basically exists to stop all of this from reaching wherever, from completely encircling FallingOff's base. FallingOff, meanwhile, is still working with 3 disruptors, still formidable firepower, and he did manage to put massive dents into the base of BlackPhoenix. Still, the Duke is still kept alive by the extreme efforts of a massive team of support commanders. Of course, RAS preset support commanders. At this point, you might want to consider investing into some rapid fabricator support commanders as well. I'm not sure if the UEF actually have an engineer variant. Let's see. So there's RAS combatant engineer. Yep, there you go, engineer. So, well, interestingly enough, all of the only upgrade they've got here is the engineering drone. So do they not have the rapid fabricator? Because that would be really weird. This is a gun, plasma refractor. Okay, well, the UEF support commanders do not possess the rapid fabricator upgrade. Interesting, so yeah. The only thing they can help with in terms of engineering is drones, but you can just build drone stations. I feel like that's a lot cheaper. Yeah, so the artillery keeps running into the Ravagers, which Ravagers are not good at dealing with T1 artillery, by the way. This is, the Ravagers are good at dealing with something like a Megalith, but definitely not T1 artillery or even T2 tanks. It's a waste on them. For T1 artillery, the best thing is Triad turrets. They I'm pretty sure they one-shot the artillery pieces, and also they are pretty good against T2 tanks as well. So yeah, a whole bunch of gunships keep flying in, but they are being targeted in turn by a lot of flak cannons that are supporting the Megalith. Right, strategic bombers are of course a lot less susceptible to flak cannon fire, but still, it's not exactly the best solution. Alright, well, there you go. They do solve the problem ultimately, and now the whalers should have a very easy time cleaning up the flak cannons, because, you know, flak cannons don't destroy whalers instantly, unlike they do with T2 gunships, so they actually have a chance of stopping these. Yeah, see how quickly the Megalith just melts under the Ravager fire, just 20,000 health lost just like that, and with all the whalers wailing on him as well. This Megalith will not be standing here very long, even with all the flak in the area. Oh my goodness, it's finally time! Finally, this massive swarm of T2 gunships that Hendywendy has created is now flying into the Megalith. And look how quickly they just melt away. Every gunship can only fire one shot at the Megalith before it's destroyed. Ooh, spicy. Look at all this wreckage, my lord. They're just piling on top of each other. It's just a friggin', it's a mountain of just wreckage now. It's just on top. Look at this. Just look at this. How many megaliths is this? This is 3 chickens, right? 1, 2, 3 chickens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 megaliths and a soul ripper on just this one screen. Oh my lord. I remember that episode of that cast I uploaded before that was about an experimental graveyard. I feel like this is even worse. Or better, depending on your point of view. 100 gunships for 1 mega. Naturally says, so good to know that Naturally is also watching this game. Yeah, so the remaining positions of Leaf are still being annihilated. Interestingly enough, his main naval factory is still not being targeted though, even though they know it exists. It's made 4 battleships already, and also a couple strategic missiles, submarines as well, which are actually loaded. You could fire them at any time. The artillery pieces once again, all of the artillery of FallingOff once again targeting the base of OnceHandsome. OnceHandsome cannot catch a break this game, just suffering through it. It's already almost 1 hour and he's still suffering. No end in sight. Meanwhile, yeah, Antrox is tightly packed underwater. Mostly safe except from a stray nuke. That could always happen, you never know. They still do... Okay, I was gonna say they still do have an Eye of Rian, but no, it does not seem to be the case anymore. Something flew in and just destroyed the entire thing completely. I think... Oh yeah, it was a Duke. Okay, so the Duke that BlackPhoenix somehow still keeps alive decided to finally pay attention to the base of Hendywendy and completely destroy that. So now there is no Eye of Rian, there is no T3 factories. Well, there is still 1 HQ, so I guess the redundant HQs ultimately did pay off because he can still actually build planes. Not that he's doing any of that, just building shields for now. Look, maybe this player is just not very good with micro, who knows. Maybe they only played Astro Crater and finally decided to play another map because it had a location similar to Crater. You know, you can never judge a book by its cover, so to speak. Although this is definitely far beyond the just cover, but you know what I mean, right? You never know what's going through their head. Anyway, a Soul Ripper is about to finish off the last remaining land base of Leaf. Let us witness the glorious Reaper in all its magnificence. I feel like I probably should have said this magnificent Reaper in all its glory, but the end result is exactly the same. Yep, the T3 factories are not allowed to exist, nor are T3 power generators. When that blows up, it's probably going to destroy everything else. Let's see. Boom! Yep, there you go. Cybran Para? What? Go Para TBH and Uwe 1. You got Aeon, yeah, well, not for much longer, as the artillery hits directly on top of Hendywendy. He is still trying to fight back against her with shields, building actual T3 support factories finally. And we already have a para, says Pashon. Yeah, right, with no Aeon on your team for 30 minutes, you definitely do, of course. Still somehow surviving, but yeah, you probably should have given over some Aeon tech to FallingOff at this point. Honestly, I feel like FallingOff is such a safe location that he probably could have constructed a Paragon by now. He's actually built a nuke launcher right next to the third disruptor, and it's also being charged up by a bunch of support commanders. I wonder what he's gonna do with this nuke. I'm guessing he will just try to destroy all the nuke defense in BlackPhoenix's base and then nuke that. Finally, the Duke goes down after like 20 minutes of bombardment. Ooh, and a mass chain reaction of support commanders. How many is that? That is like 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Like, it's like 15 or 16 support commanders go up in flames. A few more about to follow suit as well. Oh, the misery. Okay, yep. So BlackPhoenix's base is officially out of commission. Of course, he has a couple more with a T3 land HQ as well, but he can no longer produce planes. That is for certain. Have to approach the game from a different angle now. Strategic launches are now being detected. I wonder who is launching that. I honestly cannot see. To save my life. What? Oh, okay, it's he's actually got a bunch of strategic missile submarines and they are launching their missiles. This one is going, yep, there's definitely going into the base of, what? Okay, it got intercepted at like the last second. I'm sure there was a nuke defense around here somewhere, which intercepted this nuke and allowed the base of Flyboy to survive a little bit longer. Meanwhile, nukes finally being launched from the nuke subs of Leaf, and they are targeting, I hope they're targeting the sea. Oh my goodness me, it's about to hit two Atlantises. Oh! And it destroyed a bunch of nuke subs of his enemy as well. Ooh. Yep, there you go. That was a sweet nuke. Destroy an Atlantis, destroy a couple of your enemy's nuke subs. I'm guessing he was just actually waiting for these nuke subs to launch, for the enemy nuke subs to launch, so he could pinpoint their location and then destroy them with his own nuke sub. Some kind of big brain 5D chess play. Now a nuke is being launched at the Scathis that was under construction underwater by Antrox. I feel like the Team 1 probably thinks this could be the location of his commander, which it's definitely not, but I feel like they might be thinking so they are just launching it to make sure that the commander either comes out or has to die, but unbeknownst to them, they will destroy a Scathis here, which is also pretty awesome. Alright, a Soul Ripper out from OnceHandsome flies in and finally puts Flyboy out of his misery. A bit of irony there, considering Flyboy was killed by a flying unit. And ultimately he missed his demise. All of his stuff will not be transferred because this is one of the few games I've recently cast that doesn't have full share. The Whalers are destroying what remains of OnceHandsome's main base. It is now absolutely no more for like the 4th time in this game. They are being targeted by a bunch of fighters, but yeah, he can no longer produce any fighters, and I feel like these Whalers can actually defend themselves pretty well because there are so many of them versus so few fighters that, yeah, they're actually doing a pretty decent job of that. Well, no more, never mind. BlackPhoenix on the case, somehow still producing planes. I have no idea how that's possible. I'm guessing he's producing them using the Atlantises, or just this one factory. Okay, yeah, 2 factories. Still utilizing 2 factories to produce a bunch of planes. Yeah, you kind of missed with your fighters though. You gotta keep chasing those gunships. They're like, yeah. So of course the main base of Antrox also has been destroyed by the artillery. Still 3 disruptors reigning supreme, terrorizing the entire neighborhood. They destroyed the former base of Pashon once again, just leaving a couple generators there. They are now targeting the T3 factory of BlackPhoenix again. Or T3 factories, I should say, because there's both the air HQ as well as the land HQ. Another nuke being launched. Multiple nukes, in fact. I wonder where that's going. It's going towards the sea, the pond. I'm guessing with the intent to destroy the battleships, which I am still not sure about. I don't feel like these battleships are accomplishing anything. Oh my goodness me, okay, never mind. They're actually destroying the nuke subs, and the nuke subs are firing off their own nukes before they are destroyed in turn. Mutually assured destruction happening everywhere. A forward base has been destroyed. I think that belonged to Antrox. Meanwhile, though, nukes are about to land in this little body of water. And at this point, I feel like this is going to be curtains for our friend Leaf, as both his T3 factory and his commander are incinerated in glorious fire. Well, rest in peace, Leaf. You have lasted a lot longer than I anticipated, considering how little you actually had after being erased from the map. Naturally hits him with an 8 XD. Very understandable. Somehow, I have no idea how it's possible, but Hendywendy is still in the game, and it's finally now producing something relevant. This time it's going to be a Galactic Colossus. Still overflowing mass. This... what? Okay, I don't think this player... I should not get mad. I'm not mad, but I shouldn't even, like, moan or complain, because clearly this player has no concept of overflowing mass. That's okay. That's something you learn. It's an acquired skill. So, don't hate on them too much. This is a Joe game, after all. It's not... you could clearly see it from the ratings. There are some people who I would consider at pro level. Well, veteran SAM launchers, by the way. These have a whole bunch of kills, destroyed a whole bunch of mass. We're seeing strategic bombers accumulate now for BlackPhoenix, most likely trying to attack, well, preparing for an attack on somebody. A very risky maneuver out from BlackPhoenix. He's walking around the middle of the map, around the pond. Clearly exposed himself right there to the enemy. How rude of him. At least he's covered himself with a shield, so it's not all bad. But yes, the strategic bombers are flying. What? Oh no, they aren't flying, they're just sitting there, accumulating more. Thankfully for BlackPhoenix, they are not being targeted by artillery, which would have been extremely sad. Yeah, I feel like he was trying to accumulate a few more, but he can't do that now, because once again his T3 HQ has been destroyed. I don't think he has another one at this point. Another nuke flies out. This time it's once again from FallingOff, and it's actually a different nuke launcher, so it looks like, yeah, pretty much FallingOff is working with 3 nuke launchers. Yeah, if not more. Actually, never mind, it's even more. Let me see. I won't miss where the nuke lands, I promise. Yeah, he's working with 4. And this one is going towards, well, there is nothing here, really. Looks like, yeah, okay. Oh, okay, he tried to snipe BlackPhoenix with that nuke. Okay, that actually makes a lot of sense, but no. Did not work out. And also BlackPhoenix is somehow still holding on to a nuke defense, even though that one is not loaded and will probably be destroyed very soon. Because it's now being targeted once again by all the artillery in the world. Yeah, so technically BlackPhoenix can still use those Atlantises to build. That's exactly what he's doing. Yep, he's building strat bombers within the Atlantises, and also Wasps, interestingly enough. But, well, it does make sense, but yeah. He's now using Atlantises as specifically as air factories, because he can't really afford any more land-based air factories with all of them being destroyed by the artillery. There is now a Soul Ripper in the base of Hendywendy. Yeah, I feel like at this point, it's really sad because Wendy just finished the Colossus. He's now destroying a whole bunch of enemy units finally, but this Soul Ripper, this glorious beetle, I don't think it leaves any chance for Wendy's survival, unfortunately, even though they're doing pretty well surviving so far. But yeah, with all the shields being destroyed, the Soul Ripper destroys the commander in seconds. Come on, prove me right here, please. Nope, the Soul Ripper does not manage to finish off the commander. After all, it does have a T3 engineering suite, so it is pretty well protected as a whole. There are now strategic bombers flying through. Finally, the attack, the long-anticipated attack from BlackPhoenix. It looks like they are targeting the artillery pieces. Yes. Let's see if anything penetrates at all. It looks like, yes, the artillery piece, the disruptor, doesn't get hit, and the very first disruptor that FallingOff has built goes up in flames. Some strategic bombers should still survive, so let's switch the camera around, see if any of them make it back. Yes, they do, and yes, they do target the second disruptor and destroy that as well. I don't think they will destroy any more. Might have hit a nuke launcher as well. We can see real quick if we do this. No, there are still 5. There used to be 4, now there are 5, so definitely not. And some of the bombers even managed to fly away somehow. Interesting. Well, the Soul Disruptor still could present some kind of a threat, as could 5 nuke launchers. Honestly, that is probably a bigger threat at this point. Oh well, look at all these markers. They just dragged away. I'm pretty sure you can actually get rid of a marker if you just hold Control Shift and click on the marker, but damn, that's a lot of markers. FallingOff is now targeting yet another pond with a nuke. This again will not hit any commander. Of course, Team 2 doesn't know where the nuke is flying as of yet, so they could very easily walk into that. But it doesn't seem to be the case so far. No, not quite. More strategic bombers once again being built out of the Atlantis, as well as a newly constructed yet another T3 HQ. Okay, this one is gonna get destroyed again, I'm pretty sure, by another nuke out from FallingOff. An air fight breaks out near FallingOff's main base. This time it seems like... seems more even, I want to say. Yeah, it looks like there are still more UEF fighters than there are Cybran fighters, so ultimately this should go in Phoenix's favor. And also all the gunships are caught in the crossfire and also getting shot down. Okay, that gunship just went right through terrain. What was... and the plane also goes through terrain. What is happening? Okay, well... at the very least, FallingOff is now a proud owner of a megalith as well, which is defending the... which is on the cliffside and defending his base from all this nasty T3 artillery. Speaking of T3 artillery, yeah, that's also a thing. T3 mobile artillery trebuchets, the Cybran trebuchets out from Antrox, are now targeting the base of FallingOff directly. And nuke flies through, and I think this should finally put this player, Hendywendy, out of their misery. There you go, beautiful explosion, the entire base annihilated. Not even anything left to explode after the commander has been killed, besides one GC, which walked out of the explosion radius for some reason. Not entirely sure why you would save your GC but not your commander, but I guess they got confused or panicked. That could always happen. Another batch of strategic bombers again, going in for round 2. Or round 3 it should be this time. Are they dropping? Where are we dropping, boys? Okay, they are dropping on the 2 nuke launchers. Okay, fair. Destroy a couple factories as well as generators as collateral damage. What's the next target though? I'm assuming the next target should be the 3rd disruptor. Yes, indeed, that does seem to be the case, and disruptor does get penetrated, but it's not quite enough damage to destroy it. They destroy the nuke launcher instead. Oh wow, is this disruptor gonna survive? See from... God damn it, let's see from a different angle, shall we? Yep, the disruptor just survives. Probably should have targeted that first and foremost, but it was still a great bombing run, destroyed a whole bunch of nuke launchers. That is already a big deal. Because it looks like FallingOff was going to rely on these to destroy everything else that the artillery couldn't get. Oh! Somehow this still survives. I thought they launched a nuke at this one, maybe not. Okay, no, at this point FallingOff is just trying to find the enemy commanders and destroy them. This could be dangerous for BlackPhoenix. Okay, it's pinging the comm somewhere. Well, yeah, I feel like at this point everybody knows where FallingOff's commander is. The problem is more so keeping your commanders alive as you try to finish FallingOff off. Well, this is gonna kill a whole bunch of support commanders. Ooh! Ow. I felt a great disturbance in the force with this one, not gonna lie. Oh my god. So many support commanders lost their lives for no reason. But a very well placed nuke by FallingOff, regardless. A Soul Ripper, for some reason, went towards the base of Hendywendy. I guess OnceHandsome missed the memo when when this guy was destroyed. And there is now another, damn it, another bombing run. This time, hopefully, yeah, there you go, targeting the disruptor directly. And there are so many bombers that there is absolutely no chance for the disruptor to survive. There you go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. What's the next target? Do they have a next target? Yeah, I'm assuming the way BlackPhoenix operates his bombers is that he always chooses multiple targets so that when some of these... Oh! A huge chain reaction with both support commanders and a whole bunch of T3 generators completely blowing up, destroying roughly a quarter of FallingOff's base. This isn't the end, except... Okay, never mind, FallingOff has called out the GG, so... At this point, we should just wait for his commander to explode as well. Yeah, so as I was saying, I'm assuming that BlackPhoenix, the way he operates his bombers, that he sets multiple targets so that when they destroy the first target and fly off the map, they will come in and attack the next target immediately without the need to control them manually. Because, you know, when your planes are off the map, they actually cannot be controlled. They will not obey any orders you give them when they're off the map. Ooh, the Soul Ripper falls off the map into oblivion, never to be recovered. Amazing. Another strategic launch has been detected. Who's launching at this time of year? Come on. He's already dead. He called out the GG. Mass says OnceHandsome. What? Are you really worried? Your opponent has already called out the GG. What are you worried about? The nuke is, of course, stopped. I'm sure OnceHandsome has got like 5... Oh, I'm sorry. FallingOff has got like 5 of these. Oh, never mind. These are TMDs. Where's the SMD? Hello? What? Well, something just stopped the nuke. I clearly saw that. Oh, there's one. Okay, let me see. No. No, it's just one. And it's got 0... Yeah, oh, 6 missiles, so... It will definitely do the job of protecting your base, but... Oh, now Corsairs! Alright. Yeah, OnceHandsome is now just... adding insult to injury, sending a bunch of Corsairs in order to destroy the megalith that that FallingOff has been protecting his base with. They don't actually accomplish anything. The megalith will just regenerate the health slowly but surely. I don't think they did even half of megalith's health worth of damage, so whatever. What I don't quite understand is why the game is still going, even though the final member of Team 1 has called out the GG. I guess he's still got a strategy in mind. He does have himself Cloak as well as Microwave Laser in his commander, so it's kind of hard to spot this commander, but I'm sure... Okay, they have pinged out the exact location. They know exactly what it is. Where it is, I mean. Yeah, just a simple T3 scout flying over your commander, even if it's cloaked, will show the location. And then it could be targeted with whatever your opponents have. Another batch of strategic bombers being prepared by BlackPhoenix. Not entirely necessary, but just to be sure. Range is shit though, what are they talking about? Especially after the strat nerfs. So cheap and more effective. Always mix up my air defense grids with a mix of T2 and T3. Yeah, but you're not building them, right? You're building flak cannons directly around the SAMs. So that's not exactly how you're supposed to do it. Make them easier to kill with T2. Oh, okay. Depends on how far forward you have them to strats. Yep. Alright, well, there you go. FallingOff control case out of the game. The game is over. Whew, what an amazing display. We had basically everything there. We had air, land, sea, we had bomber snipes, we had friggin' early chicken and, well, not early, but you know, a chicken and a GC snipe. We had a valiant defense to the last breath on a cliff. We had bases, entire bases destroyed. Basically, an entire team's bases have been destroyed. All of them. And they still managed to hold on to it. Whew, what a game indeed. Look at the amount of strategic missile submarines they've got prepared. Yeah. You will need more than one defense unit to repel all of these because there are just more missiles here than you can have in one defense unit, so there is that. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this replay, because I enjoyed it immensely, and I hope you enjoyed this cast as well. So yeah, if you did enjoy, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below detailing what you would and wouldn't like to see. And I will see you all soon on the battlefields of the future.